Guys, ladies and gentlemen, is a big compression in weight over what we had earlier, but it's also smaller package, enables us to have a very tight package, and it also has reduced our dependence on rare earth metals to an extent of almost 30%. And I'll take you through what the further details in terms of performance and its behavior is in subsequent slides. Efficiency on EVs cannot be altered, cannot be improved unless you have algorithms for load management which run very, very efficiently. Now, on this car, we have a 4-stage liquid pump operation. And liquid pump operation, you know, we have liquid cooled motors, liquid cooled batteries, but now we are giving these pumps 4 stages of how to operate in order to make sure that they do not consume energy too much at the lower end, but they are also safe at the higher end of temperature band. We have a velocity-based fan speed strategy, again saving us some very, very critical energy. And smart low voltage battery charging or battery management, and this is a very critical aspect because how you charge the low voltage battery, which then powers the whole host of other functional utilities, is very, very critical. We've got some new efficient components. You've heard about IV Pack, which is the intelligent vacuum assist booster on the cars. And we are the only car in the country today which uses this technology. Gives us the right sort of blending between service brakes and motor regeneration. And that supports up to about 2 to 3% of range improvements. Moreover, we've also now got a bigger compressor. And this bigger compressor means that we are able to not only have better comfort within the cabin, but also the entire duty cycle of this compressor is running at a lower RPM, which again translates to efficiency. It's a little counterintuitive, but it helps us improve efficiency significantly. Martin spoke about aerodynamics. It's a significant feature because not only are there wheel inserts, which is, like I said, always this struggle between whether you want to have a design element or an engineering element, but these wheel inserts, ladies and gentlemen, help us save 2 counts on aerodynamics. Aero curtains and a re-engineered rear spoiler with a concealed rear wiper that gives us significant benefits. As a result of all this, aero resistance over the car has reduced 13 counts. And that gives us an additional 2% range benefit. The losses on a car cannot be reduced unless you look at the tire to road interface. And therefore, this car has the lowest rolling resistance tires in the country today at 6.5 Newton per ton level, whereas everything else is between 7 and 7.5 Newton per ton. Every 10% improvement in rolling losses is a 2% improvement in range, and therefore this is a significant achievement because tires are a safety aspect. You need to look at adhesion, traction, as well as the rolling losses, and that's what we've been able to achieve. More importantly, Martin spoke about the X factor, he spoke about the LEDs, he spoke about the CPLs. The lighting elements on the car have therefore gone higher in order to bring that premium feel. And yet, because we have used LEDs in most places, we've been able to cut down on the total energy consumption on account of the lighting by almost 30%. And that again is a significant improvement. So what does this translate to? This translates to a range on the long range car. So we have 2 versions, the long range and the mid-range, medium range. The long range car is now at 465 on the ARAI cycle. The medium range is at 325 on the ARAI cycle. But more importantly, and I would like to emphasize that, the effort has not really been to chase the certified numbers. It should more be about chasing how we increase real life usage, real life range. So while you will calculate that it's about a 3% improvement in range on certified, it translates to a 7.5% improvement in range in real life. And that's, I think, the true benefit of all the technologies that have gone into it. I will then come to the performance. Again, the new generation motor, some more details about this. This motor is capable of now going to 16,000 RPM from what it was at 12,000 RPM. Please understand that when 16,000 RPMs happen, the level of balance, the level of NVH has to be absolutely precisely controlled. So the level of componentry and the finishes on gears, mating gears, etc. have to be within very, very small and precise controls. It delivers 106.4 kilowatt power and a whopping 2,500 Newton meter at the wheels. Also, electric motors are known for their flat torque curves. We've expanded this flattish torque curve by a 750 RPM range, which means more uniform, more consistent torque right across the range. That's yielded us a faster sprint at 8.9 seconds. We've also increased the max speed to 150 kilometers now. And despite doing all this, the NVH behavior of the car, and you should be able to experience that tomorrow, it's flatter and it's low. So it's a more refined, noise attenuated feel on the car. In terms of the performance, again, enhanced regeneration is a very, very important topic, because not only have we given more convenience now, the new steering wheel that Martin has designed also has paddle shifters incorporated into it, and therefore it becomes very, very easy and intuitive for us to operate the regen controls. But more importantly, because of the new motor that we spoke about, the regen levels on the car have been tweaked between 10 and 15%. The amount of energy that we can recover from the car through regen at different levels is higher, which again aids in the efficiency. Charging equipment is always a topic of big debate for all EV owners, and therefore now the medium range car also gets a 7.2 kilowatt charger. It's possible to charge faster, and moreover, we've integrated vehicle to load and vehicle to vehicle for better convenience and better flexibility. And I would request, if you walk across the aisle here, there is a cafe which is being powered by the NEXON EV. So maybe we can enjoy a coffee there. Of course, creature comforts like enhanced cabin comfort through express cooling and auto defogger come as standard on the car. And then we come to safety, very, very critical. So I would like to separate or distinguish safety in three parts. It's active safety, passive safety, and because it's an electric vehicle, high voltage safety. So when we talk about active safety, we spoke about the IV bag. So ABS and ESP come as standard across all cars. A 360 degrees surround view system with 4+4 sensors, 4 cameras, 4 sensors, in order to give our customers, give the drivers a better spatial awareness, which is very, very critical for conditions of road traffic in our country. Seatbelt reminders for all occupants, and more importantly, the front parking assist enabled through the sensors in the front, which help us in better parking. And a blind view mirror or a blind view monitor, which assists in identifying if there are any vehicles in the vicinity, and therefore the driver can take corrective action. In terms of passive safety, 6 airbags come as standard, ISOFIX provision on seats come as standard, and the reinforced body structure with high degree of strength, high strength steels for superior performance. There are two key aspects that we have looked at. One is, in order to improve the crash performance, we look at synchronization of the LH and RH performance. We've not tried to, save on that. We've synchronized this performance. But more importantly, with evolving global safety norms, side pole impact is becoming an extremely important thing, which for electric vehicles, because the battery is placed underneath, is a very important parameter. And this car has been now augmented for side pole crash as well. I come to now the high voltage safety. So we have the IP67 protected propulsion system, which is a continuing of what we were doing in the past. But now AIS 38 compliant battery and more. We do extra tests in order to be able to not only meet the AIS 038 but go beyond. More importantly, a ASIL C compliant EDU, which means more protection, more risk protection against error states, more risk protection against errant behavior if at all, and absolute safety in terms of how the entire torque delivery, power delivery and unwanted behavior does not happen. And continuous telematic scanning in order to monitor critical parameters on battery as well as the high voltage electronics. SOS function for emergency call, breakdown call comes as standard now. And then a suite of these safety features, all disc brakes, hill descent control, hill ascent control, panic brake alert. I think we are the only ones doing this in the country today because of customer feedback that we had on how do you prevent following cars to not closing on the distance too much. I think this is a smart piece. Auto vehicle hold and ITPMS. I'll now come to the game-changing new technologies that we have incorporated within the car. We get a bi-directional charging capability with the chargers. Therefore, I spoke about vehicle to vehicle and vehicle to load. With vehicle to load, we can do loads up to 3.3 kVA. And with vehicle to vehicle charging capability, we can charge a compatible EV at 5 kVA, but a non-compatible EV also at 3.3 kVA. So we have a plug which can be inserted and a non-compatible EV can also be charged. Intuitive and flexible HMI with super powerful processor for high performance audio visual experience, and I really recommend and suggest that you experience this assuming that you are charging the car tomorrow afternoon and having a view of the camera, having a view of the screen, and the entire experience is absolutely immersive. A 45% larger screen, which usually happens in 2 segments above, with high data information and visual definition, along with arcade.ev. And arcade.ev is an app where we have a suite of apps, about 20 at the current time, but growing further. Intuitive and flexible HMI, Martin has spoken about this, and we've now provided a nav view on the instrument cluster, and also 4 voice assistants typically used by people. The first one is Hey Tata, of course, Alexa, Hey Siri, and then OK Google. The in-cabin experience is enhanced with immersive sound experience through AudioWorks. 4+4+1 speakers, including an external subwoofer, and of course a very high degree of noise attenuation through absolute maintaining of the NVH parameters, starting with the motor as well as with proper insulation to make sure that there are fatigue-free drives. And then I come to the last part of what we've been doing in terms of our changing the manufacturing capabilities, because this is something that we've been working on for the last 3.5 years. We've focused on creating deep EV tech capabilities by a very high degree of localization. All our partners today are now localizing and making these components available to us through India. There's a significant amount of local design and development that's happening, be it in terms of batteries, be it in terms of motors, be it in terms of electronics. And the EV ecosystem in terms of our supplier partners, people who are able to give us solutions, is ever growing. And might I say therefore that we have the largest EV trained workforce in the country today. The manufacturing footprint is extremely efficient and versatile. We've introduced the entire car on the regular production line, which is conveyorized, so that we run at regular takt times, and we are therefore having the capability of running a petrol, a diesel, and a EV all through the same line at the same takt time now. And therefore that versatility in terms of doing what we need to have, whether an ICE or an EV, the fungibility is phenomenal. So that was how we've looked at all these 5 aspects in order to create a game-changing product. And I'll now call upon Vivek to take you through the experience of how we're going to do it with the customers.
Thank you very much, Anand. So Martin spoke about the game-changing design. Anand spoke about the engineering behind the new NEXON. But I'm here to talk about how a consumer is going to perceive it, how it's going to make a difference to them in taking EV mobility to the next level. But before we go there, I would like to take a step back and acknowledge what the NEXON EV has done in terms of putting India on the EV mobility, personal mobility roadmap. It has absolutely created, it's been the flag bearer of EV mobility. It has helped us completely overcome the myths and barriers that have been in consumers' minds over the last 3 years. It has traversed the length and breadth of the country, braved extreme weather conditions, braved our tough road conditions, monsoons, extreme heat. It's been there and done all that and moved all our 53,000 customers in safety, in comfort, in silence, and with a very low total cost of ownership over the last 3 years. We interact a lot with our customers, and what we've realized is over the last few years, the expectations of EV customers are really changing. What we see, and you would have heard the word digitization and gadgetization a lot in both Anand's and Martin's presentation. EV customer behavior is dramatically moving towards consumers of tech products rather than traditional automotive products. They have become increasingly demanding of a higher level of customer experience, higher level of engagement with the manufacturer even post-purchase. They are extremely vocal on forums, both positive and negative. They expect the manufacturer to hear them and make changes. And we have realized that unless we respond and keep these customers happy, it will not be possible for us to grow this category. As a first step, a couple of days back, we created a new customer-facing brand identity for our EV business, and we called it Tata.ev. It is a first step for us to unify all the products and services of Tata Passenger Electric Mobility in the future, and all of them will come under the basket of Tata.ev. And we've adopted the philosophy of move with meaning, which is around sustainability, community, and democratizing technology. The brand design has got sustainability built into it. I'll give you a few examples. All our digital assets are going to be with a black background, which mimics the dark mode in mobile phones or gadgets, enabling lower power consumption every time our digital assets are used by consumers. Similarly, all offline creative will be with a white background, so that amount of ink used will be much lower. The kind of fonts we adopt will be free to access and very light in terms of bandwidth to download, again reducing the carbon footprint that goes into downloading these fonts. So overall, you'll see that the kind of commitment we have and gradual movement towards a more sustainable planet is going to be immense as we go forward. I'll just give you a glimpse of the kind of promise we've made